fractures of radius and ulna, metacarpal and metatarsal fractures. That's a big question.
I also have a very stupid question. What are the metacarpal, metatarsal parts? Are they like wrists and ankles?
Yeah, theoretically are the little bones that we have in the leg and the hand area.
Okey-dokey.
Carpal is hand, tarsal is foot. So, radius and ulna can be fractured together, and we can have angulation, rotation, delayed delayed ununion, and decreased growth can occur also.
Just like the picture on the left, both radius and ulna are broken together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we start with radius.
Okay.
Different kind of fractures. We can have proximal fractures. So let me go here. So diaphysis. Okay, we don't have a picture with that. So in case of proximal fractures, we will have laterally approach. We will find the radial nerve, go under it. So yeah, I mean I cannot exactly say, but yes.
Yeah.
And we will go under it. Now, if we have articular fracture of that proximal part, we need to reduce it first and decrease the decrease the chance of having secondary osteoarthritis.
Okay.
We use intra-fragmentary fixation devices like fashion screws. If small, sorry.
No, just to say, so they'll just put screws in the radius and ulna if they're both broken together. Okay.
If small fractures that are not reducible, we remove them. Okay, the parts that they are fractured, for example, we can remove them.
Okay.
Yeah.
We remove the bone fragments.
If we have transverse and straight fraction
sideways, yeah.
of radius neck, again we're in the proximal fractures, we use a T-plate. No, it's still not here, so I cannot talk about
You
picture.
could gesture to the picture. What would a T-plate kind of look like?
Imagine like that, but with two ears here.
So, sorry. So it would be like this.
Yeah, like a T here, let's say.
Oh, okay. The T bit would be at the bottom because I haven't done these questions, so I don't know.
It's you can just put it in the top, so it's like a T shape, and let's say that you put it here, of course, like the T is where the biggest amount of bone is.
Okay.
And we use that T-plate with two screws on the both sides of T. Okay.
Okay, and just to be clear, the T part, like the cross bit of the T, does it go because I don't know what it looks like? Could you like just?
It's like yes, it's like this.
Oh, okay.
But obviously
so the straight part of the T is.
Yeah, it's the in the top usually where the biggest amount of bone is.
Okay, that's what I was
now in case of diaphysis fractures, we have many options.
Okay.
We have pictures, I think, for that. Yes, so we can have IM, internal IM pins. And internal fixation also.
Yeah.
We can also have external coaptation. Don't know if we have. Yes, this is the external coaptation.
So coaptation means immobilizing with like a cast or something.
I suppose, yes.
Yeah.
And that is for non-displacement radius and ulna. So that is when we have like a easy fracture without a lot of movement, so not a serious one.
Yeah.
Internal with intramedullary pins, we can see this here. With plates and screws, we can see this here.
Okay.
External skillet fixation can be any kind of this, double,
Unilateral, bilateral.
Yes.
Okay.
And the last two, the plates and external, it's for case of transverse, short oblique fractures. Now, distal fractures. Yes.
Okay.
So in the lowest part. So just to be clear, here we are up to here. This is the distal part, and after that, it's the metacarpal metatarsal. This is the metacarpal metatarsal. Okay.
Okay, so we're talking about this near the wrist region.
Yeah. So we are still in the radius thing, and we are still in the lower part of the radius. So in the distal fractures of radius, as we said before, it's very similar with the proximal one. We can, if we have articular fracture, that is a bit more uncommon, and only in stiphoid process we use lag screw and Kirchner. So in this case, or lag screw. If we have non-articular damage, we can have it's the metaphyseal fractures with medial or dorsal approach. We can put a plate, a T-plate. So something, it's not right, but something like that, but it's like a T. Okay.
Okay.
Moving on to ulnar fractures. Yep. So ulnar is the bigger bone,
Yeah.
I suppose.
I always say it's the bone that kind of makes up more of the elbow. So
Yes.
the bit that's sticking out, that bone is going to be the ulnar.
Obviously, proximally is the thing that you said about the elbow. It again, we have articulation there, so it can be non or articulation fracture. If it's non, we do the repair of olecranon by 2 pins and figure of 8 tension. So this one, the pins, is that, yes, and the pins and the figure of 8 tension. So tension between, let's say, as you said, the olecranon and the rest of the bone, that is good.
So the pins are going to be there anyway. When they say figure of 8, they're referring to the wire.
Yeah, that wire that you can see that is with tension.
Okay.
And you can see it's like an X, so it's like a figure of 8.
Ah.
Moving on to the non-articular one, to the articular one, that are the more serious one. Usually they are more distally, and as we said always, when we have articular fracture, we need to have a very good reduced of the fracture, or to put everything in perfect alignment to decrease the chance of secondary osteoarthritis. That's what I tried to say in the previous video.
Okay.
Usually plates and screws are used. Yep.
Okay.
Caudally usually plates and screws caudally or laterally
Okay.
of the bone cortex. So, in case of the proximal fracture again, if they are combined with subluxation or luxation, we use something called, we call them Montezia fractures.
Montezia.
Here they are.
Ah. Okay, so could you say what a Montezia fracture is again?
So it's when they're uncombined with subluxation and luxation. So let's say that we have a luxation here.
Okay, so are you saying one of them is popping out of place?
Yeah, I
Because of the
suppose.
fracture,
Probably,
okay.
yes.
Ouch.
And in case of acute ones, in cats and in small and medium dogs, we do closed reduction
Okay.
and the normal grade insertion of intramedullary pins. What's the normal grade? Open a hole here and we put them, not from the middle, okay?
Okay, kind of like it's shown in the
It
picture.
makes sense because obviously it's on the middle, so we cannot do the retro one.
No.
Retro needs space and to be in the middle.
Yeah.
In case of distal fractures, I don't know if we have anything. No, in case of distal fractures, stabilization isn't necessary, and that's all we need to know. I suppose still we do some screws and shit like that.
Okay.
Moving on to metacarpal and metatarsal fractures, it's small. Usually, yes, so this is the metacarpal in this case.
Looks like a hand to me.
Yeah. So we only recommend to do some surgery for a fracture when we have more than one fracture in same manus or articulation. If the fracture is on primary weight-bearing bones, primary weight-bearing, I suppose, are them and not them. Okay. Like the third and the fourth. If they are more than 50% displaced by fragments, and if involves base of second and fourth metacarpal tarsal region, or if the dog is big or so athletic, or it's very active generally. So that's why we do generally, surgery. We use plates and IM or K wires. You can see here K wires, I think. This is the plate.
I only see intramedullary pins, but you could say where the wires would go.
Yeah, I suppose also they will be similar like that. I don't
Just
know.
kind of reuniting the bone fragments.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. So this is the question.